I recently emigrated to Canada from the UK, and I figured what better way to get to know my new home country than to travel across it.
Well, I've made it to Niagara Falls.
So over the next month, I'm traveling 4,500 kilometers from Halifax to Vancouver, and the reason I'm sticking to the mainland of Canada is I'm traveling on trains with Via Rail.
Just look at this.
In this second leg of the trip, I'm going to be hopping through the cities of Quebec and Ontario.
This is very much the whistle-stop part of the coast-to-coast trip. I'm only going to have 1 or 2 nights in each city, but I'll still have enough time to explore around, see some of the sights, do some activities, try out some local food, get some drinks, and just get a sense of the vibe of the place.
This place has been open since 1928. I get the hype.
Check this out. Landing in Niagara Falls.
My journey began a few days ago when my wife Jamie and I flew into Halifax and we drove around some of the highlights of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick.
Here we go! Hey, we've got 4 lobsters! So the Bay of Fundy is the biggest tidal change in the world. We're riding a tide that's coming in for the afternoon.
And now Jamie's flown back to Winnipeg, and I'm about to board the train in Halifax to begin making my way across Canada. So this first train journey I'm going to do is going to take me 22 hours to get from Halifax to Quebec City.
So I'm in cart 37, which is all the way down the other end, and it's a very, very, very long train. It's exciting though. I'm excited to get on board and get this journey started. 37. And this is me. To be able to have this whole room to myself is very, very nice for a 22-hour journey. Feeling very, very excited now. Let's get this started.
All right, we're off. We're moving. Next up, Quebec City.
So this train line's called the Ocean, which runs from Halifax to Montreal, but I'll be getting off before the end of the line in Quebec City.
Been summoned to the dining car.
Well, I've just come back from lunch and that was absolutely delicious. I didn't know what to expect with the food on the train, you know. I think anytime you're dining on a train, you kind of like, well, just you take what you're given, you know. But that was actually really, really tasty. Much better quality than I expected, which is fantastic. But now, it's actually started raining outside, which is kind of funny because we had like 4 days of pure sunshine whilst we travelled around, and then now the rain's here. So, to be fair, if any day it's going to rain, I want it to be when I'm inside the train, so it's all good, all good. I'm just going to settle in now, have a bit of a relaxing afternoon, watch the world go by. So staying in the Sleeper Plus class, I've got my own cabin, but I also have access to the lounge car, the dining car, as well as this regular carriage that I can just come and hang out in. And there are snacks and drinks you could order, but I decided to wait till 4 p.m. because they had a free wine tasting on. So we got to try out a couple of different wines from the local region.
What did you find?
I think you've hit it nail on the head there, because I was going to say it feels quite thick.
Yeah.
But like not in an overbearing way. It's like,
No.
It's like refreshing, thick but refreshing, which seems contradictory.
So crisp and bright. It has to be great.
Yeah, so the sun's gone down now and it was time for my dinner, and the meals are included in the ticket, but you have to book a specific time slot that you're going to eat at. Very, very impressed with the food so far. I had this barbecue chicken with a blueberry sauce on. It tasted fantastic. Didn't film that much because you're just sitting down with new people and having a nice conversation and don't want to be getting my camera out and stuff. But yeah, I'm just going to settle in for the evening, chill out in my cabin, and then I'll convert this to a bed a bit later on. But yeah, it's been great. Alright, I've climbed into bed now. Hopefully I'll sleep alright and be fresh for exploring Quebec City tomorrow morning when I arrive at the crack of dawn. So, see you on the other side. Alright, good morning. Slept pretty well last night. All things considered, slept fine actually. Got a good rest. I think we're about 20 minutes from Quebec City. Well, St. Foy stop at Quebec City, where I'm getting off. Alright, just gonna get my bag and then get an Uber to the hotel. Of course my bag's the last one off, but there you go. Alright, let's get an Uber. So this is where I'm staying tonight. This is the Chateaux Frontenac, which was built in 1893 by the Canadian Pacific Railway. And they built it as a luxury hotel to encourage rail travel across Canada. And I figured, since I'm traveling across Canada on rail, I've got to stay here, you know, just for thematic purposes for the video, that's all. I mean, it's a sacrifice of anything. But yeah, I got 2 nights in here. I can't check in yet, though, because I got here at 7 a.m. So I'm just going to go and have a little wander around the city, especially it's a gorgeous day, beautiful sunshine. A little chilly to start with, but I'm going to have a little wander around before all the crowds start showing up. Check out on the river down here. It's just like these little clouds just floating over it. Never seen anything like that. It's so cool. So this is the Governor's Promenade I'm walking along now. Let's have a little loop around, see what I see. It's actually nice being here this time of morning because I can imagine it's getting very busy later in the day, but right now, very peaceful. I still can't believe I'm staying in that. So along the way here they got bits of information about the history of the river and the city, and like St. Lawrence River here has just played such a vital role in Canada's history. Like the indigenous people were using it for thousands of years for travel and trade, but then with the French colonization, this was their route in from the Atlantic Ocean.
The first permanent European settlement in Canada was established right here in 1608 by the French explorer Samuel de Champlain. He chose this strategic location because of how the river narrows, making it easy to control river traffic and defend against enemies. It was also an ideal hub for the fur trade with the indigenous peoples.
I'm enjoying this though, having a quiet early morning wander around. It's very peaceful, incredible views of the city.
By the mid-17th century, Quebec City became the political, religious and economic centre of what the French called New France. The city was then conquered by the British in 1759, and just over 60 years later, they built this citadel to defend against potential attacks from the Americans.
Just walking past the old citadel here. You can go inside, but it doesn't open until 10, so I'm just going to walk around it.
Unlike other North American cities, Quebec City has maintained all of its defensive walls, and today is the only fortified city with intact walls north of Mexico.
Great overview of the city here because you've got like, you know, the hotel and the old town, but behind it you've got all the industry with not just cruise ships but all the cargo ships coming in as well. So I'm going to switch my mornings around here actually. Tomorrow morning I was going to go to the Montmorency Falls, but I'm actually going to do it this morning because I can't check into the hotel yet. And like Old Quebec and stuff, I think it'll be more interesting and lively during the afternoon and evening. So take advantage of the beautiful sunshine and go and see the falls this morning, and then come back here in the afternoon, check in, and then explore a bit more of the old town.
I bought myself a combo ticket for the shuttle and the entry to Montmorency Falls, and it only took about 20 minutes to drive out there. The falls stand at a height of 83 meters or 270 feet, which is about 30 meters taller than Niagara Falls.
There's a few different things you can do here. There's a cable car, there's a zip line, and there's even a via ferrata. Now, I had my eye on the zip line, but because it's the start of October, it's only open on weekends, and I'm only here during the week, so I can't get to do that. But I did have my eye on the cable car, but unfortunately in order to do the cable car, there's a massive queue. And as much as I love cable cars, I hate queuing, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm basically just going to do the trail, up and around, on top of it on the bridge there. Enjoy the views and take it all in. Alright, we're going to enter the splash zone here. Actually that wet down there, just a light spray. Anyway, time to climb up all of these stairs. Whew. Made it up. Get a good view back to the city from here as well. This is such a great view. Kind of walk right above it like this. It's the end of the zip line right here. I think that would have been a good one. I thought I'd pop in the restaurant here just to get a quick drink and enjoy a view of the waterfalls, but because I'm getting a drink only, they put me all the way back. In this lovely corner here. Gonna see if I can just get the cable car down without queuing for ages. This is more like it. $14 to go down. Well, it ended up being a good little hack that. There was still a big queue to go up, but just like this one over here. But no queue to go down. There's only a few of us in the cable car. So anyway, that was lovely. Gonna head back to town now.
Alright, I said I was going to get poutine at some point in this trip, and what better place to get it than in Quebec, which is the home of poutine. And I've come to a place called Le Chic Shack, which is just opposite the Chateaux Frontenac right here. So just before I go check in, I'm going to fill up on this. Now I've gone with something a little more fancy than your regular poutine. This is La Fumée. Obviously the usual gravy, cheese curds, but we've got smoked meat, chic sauce, pickled onions, and fresh herbs. Oh, that's really good. And local lager too. Cheers.
It was finally time for me to check in to the Chateaux Frontenac, and they'd given me a set of room key cards earlier that just weren't activated yet. But now the room's ready, they text me my room number and the keys were activated.
Alright, I can finally check into my room, so let's see what's in store.
Well, this is supposed to be my room, and there's someone in here. The key worked. So I got a text from front desk saying this is my room. I've gone in. Someone in there. Brilliant. Yeah, 9101. Key worked and everything. Oh well, let's go back down and see what happens. That's a first, actually, out of all my travels. Be sort of given a room key. And it's the correct key, but it's obviously the wrong room because there's someone in there. Good job we weren't at it.
So I went down to reception, they gave me keys to a new room, which was a little bit of a downgrade, and I went up to try again.
Let's see who's in here. Yeah, so not as big as the other room or as high up, but fuck it. I've been here since 7 a.m. Make it work. It's weird. I should be walking into this room going like, oh my god, this is phenomenal. But because of that, I'm just a bit like, it's like, oh, here's what you should have had, but we messed up, so now you got this. So anyway, first world problems. It's all good.
Yeah, the room is actually lovely. It had just been a long day. Since I was staying at a fancy hotel, I figured I'd go for a fancy meal at one of their restaurants, Bistro Le Sam.
Basically, have a romantic meal for one. Oh, I miss Jamie.
I ordered lobster crab arancini as an appetizer, and then for my main, I went for the flank steak with added lobster.
That's fantastic as well. Looks like I've ordered the right thing. Oh, that's good.
Good morning from Quebec City. It's another beautiful day here. Going to be starting off today with actually getting a tour around the hotel. So you actually book tours of the hotel, like an hour-long tour taking you all around, which for any other hotel might not seem that interesting. Like if it's just some Best Western, it's like, oh look, here's the ice machine. But here, there's so much history involved with the Chateaux Frontenac. So the hotel is built on top of where the original forts were in Quebec. So there was the French fort, and then when the British took over, they put their fort on top of that. I got to have a look at all the magnificent rooms, like the ballroom, which is huge, and all these different chandeliers. You know, it's been royalty that stayed here, famous actors. The whole place is just beautiful. But the highlight was, we're in one of the rooms. He was like, oh, this is the room that Churchill and some of the other Allied leaders planned a D-Day in. It's like, what?
This is where they planned out D-Day.
During World War II, the Quebec conferences were here, which is where Churchill, Roosevelt, and the Canadian Prime Minister at the time, Leon Mackenzie King. See, I'm learning. They had meetings with the military leaders to plan an Allied strategy. Once I'd finished the tour of the hotel, I head out onto St. Lawrence River with a free tour that the hotel offers, which I was very keen to do given the river's vital role in Canada's history. And then in the afternoon, I finally went to explore the Old Town. Alright, so let's go for a little wander around Old Quebec, which is basically the little whole area around the hotel. Maybe get some food, get a drink, possibly waste some money on some souvenirs, you know. We'll just see what happens. So one of the most obvious observations about around here is it looks like Europe, but in fact it looks so much like Europe it often doubles as Europe in many films. So if you've seen the film Catch Me If You Can, this church right here is where Tom Hanks captures him right near the end of the film. And the church was built in 1688 and it's one of the oldest still standing stone churches in all of North America. So this outline marks where Champlain's original home was. So basically that means the first permanent European settlement in Canada started right here. As the evening drew in, I decided to go for a drink in one of the old pubs. And then a couple walked in who had the same camera as me, so I started chatting to them, and it turns out they were fellow YouTubers as well.
Jason and Elisa here. Hey! They have a channel, EECC Travels, which I hadn't seen because it's all about cruise ships and I haven't been on cruise ships, but we've had the loveliest time. This isn't some cheesy collab, you know, when some YouTubers kind of fake it. We were just in the pub having a drink, and now we've been here. One drink's turned into like 4, but we're having the best time just hanging out. So, great to meet you guys. This is the best.
This guy has been wonderful, and we've enjoyed his company tremendously. He makes great content. I understand why you guys watch him.
There you go.
We've actually watched one video of
Yeah,
this.
that's so funny that whenever we sit down, I'm like, I think I know you.
I haven't checked out their channel yet. I'm still in the pub, but I will do. So yeah.
He's a bit drunk, don't worry.
I'm a bit drunk.
I'm more drunk than he is.
That's because you've only got a bit of British blood in yourself.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
We've enjoyed this.
It's been a really fun evening.
Cheers.
Boom.
It was time to move on to my next destination, and I'm getting the train first thing in the morning to spend the day in Montreal.
What a beautiful looking train station. Beautiful on the outside with the renovations happening on the inside. So today I'm riding in business class. Journey tomorrow I'm doing economy, so I'm just kind of mixing it up between different ones. But yeah, it's nice to have a bit more space, a bit more room for the journey today. Like 2.5 hours, so should be pretty smooth.
One of the perks of traveling business class is there was a full meal included, and the food again was absolutely top-notch.
Oh, wow.
Votre attention s'il vous plaît, nous arriverons à la gare centrale de Montréal.
Alright, made it to Montreal. Let's go find my hotel, which should be just above the train station. Here it is. So, alright, so this is my room in the Fairmont Queen Elizabeth. It's another railway hotel. It's built by the Canadian National Railway in the 50s. Let's have a look at the view. Oh, wow. That's cool. It's right above the train station, and when they built it, the engineers used some special technology to sort of stop the train tracks kind of rumbling the hotel. But it's quite a famous hotel because this is where, in 1969, John Lennon and Yoko Ono did their bed in for peace. They stayed in one of the suites in this hotel and stayed in the bed as an anti-war protest, and it's where they recorded Give Peace a Chance in this hotel. So that's pretty cool. I'm not going to be staying in bed, I'm going to go explore Montreal.
Originally a fur trading settlement and later a colonial centre, Montreal was incorporated as a city in 1832. Over time, its strategic location on the St. Lawrence River made it a major hub for trade, manufacturing and transportation. Today, Montreal has one of Canada's largest metropolitan economies, and its cultural life is famous around the world, hosting major festivals and featuring one of North America's most diverse international food scenes.
It's nearly 1 o'clock now, so I've basically got like half a day to explore Montreal. It's hot out today, it's like 25 degrees, and it's the start of October. I'm not complaining. Heading into the Old Town now, and you can immediately see a change in the architecture from all the sort of big shiny glass skyscrapers to all the old stone buildings. Okay, so I'm just outside the Notre Dame Basilica of Montreal. It's a very famous church here in Montreal. So I'm going to see if I can have a look inside.
Notre Dame Basilica is Montreal's most iconic landmark, famous for its stunning Gothic Revival architecture. Opened in 1829, it houses a 7,000-pipe organ and has hosted major events including the funeral of former Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau and the wedding of Celine Dion.
That was the most impressive church I've ever been inside, I think. And that's the thing, it's a church, not a cathedral. If it's a cathedral, I'll be like, well, it's got some competition, but as for a church, it was just phenomenal. I guess that's semantics, but yeah. Just the architecture was fantastic, the stained glass windows, just all like the carvings and that spiral staircase going up, which is beautiful. $16 to go in, didn't spend too long in there, but it's definitely worth it. I've come down to the old fort, and first of all, more amazing fall colours follow me all around Canada, which is sweet, but yeah, loads of stuff going on here. They got a whole like fairground over there. Just a beautiful autumn day in the mid-20s. I didn't bring any shorts with these, so I'm wearing jeans and I'm just roasting. I should note that it's a Saturday afternoon that I'm here, which is maybe one of the reasons why it's so busy. I could easily hang around here for ages, but my plan is I'm going to head, it's about a 35-minute walk to Schwartz's Deli, get a classic smoked meat sandwich, and then I'm going to head up to Mount Royal for an amazing view of the city. So I'm working my way up St. Laurent Boulevard to get to the deli. Definitely feels like more of the local hangout area of town. Like Old Town was touristy and busy. This seems where, especially I reckon late in the evening, this area would be pretty pumping. Lots of cool street art. Like there's a street art tour going on there. Oh good, everyone's had the same idea as me. Oh well, see how long this lasts. This place has been open since 1928, so it's like a bit of a landmark here in Montreal, hence why it's so popular. So just for reference, I got in a queue at 3:30, it's now 3:38. I'm inside for the inside queue, so it's not too bad. This is the takeout. Yeah, there's like a dining in area, but this is the takeout, you just order it and take out. All right, that took 20 minutes from joining the queue to get my sandwich, so it's not too bad at all. All right, let's give it a try. That is some juicy meat. Juicy meat. There's not much to the sandwich, just the meat, maybe a little mustard in there, but I get the hype. That was great. That was delicious though. Like, I was feeling very hungry, so I nearly got fries, but I'm so glad I didn't because I am full now. It doesn't look like much, but it fills you right up. Anyway, now I'm gonna head up Mount Royal, which is directly up there. Very wholesome scene of people just chilling in the park on a lovely Saturday. It's nice to be in the shade for a bit as well. It's a hot day. Well, I get my step count in, literally. Well, that was a workout. Oh. Well, that was a hell of a hike up, but just an incredible view over Montreal. Glad I saved this to last, really. Such an incredible view over the city. It's very busy up here, but it's a gorgeous Saturday evening, so everyone's got the same idea. Anyway, I need to find some water and then possibly a beer.
I was feeling pretty tired that evening, so I decided just to go for a quiet drink in the Gold Lounge of my hotel.
Montreal, from my time here today, seems like a really cool city with a lot of variety to it. And I feel like you could have a really fun night here as well, but in the space of a month trip, sometimes you gotta have a quiet one, so that's what I'm doing tonight.
In the morning, I got some breakfast in the Gold Lounge, and then it was time to move on to my next destination.
All right, let's head back down to the station and get myself onto Ottawa. Lovely hotel, this, though. Very, very nice. Let's see if I can remember the way. Traveling in an economy today. Economy Plus. But yeah. One thing to note with the trains is, like, the Canadian, you've got to book months in advance because there's only like 2 trains per week. But even the intercity ones, they have a few running per day, but you still kind of want to book them in advance.
On behalf of Via Rail Canada and the entire crew, welcome aboard train number 633, en route to Ottawa.
It was a 2-hour train to Ottawa, so I just used that time to back up my footage and watch the multicolored views go by. The train station is just a 10-minute drive from downtown, so I quickly jumped in a taxi to take me to my hotel.
Alright, so I just dropped my bags at the hotel. They said the room would be ready in half an hour, which is actually pretty sweet because it's only 11:30, but I've got a brewery tour booked in now, so I'm going to try and squeeze in a little bit of sightseeing before I start that. So I'm just going to head to Parliament now. I'm in the capital of Canada, got to go see Parliament.
Ottawa began in 1826 as Bytown, a canal-building settlement that grew around the construction of the Rideau Canal and the booming lumber trade. In 1857, Queen Victoria chose it as Canada's capital, setting the stage for its transformation into a national political and cultural centre.
Alright, so I've made it to the Parliament of Canada. I came here back in 1995 when I was 11 years old, and we saw the changing of the guard and things like that, but I just remember thinking, like, have I just transported back to Britain? Because it's exactly what it looked like. Yeah, bit of construction going on now, so not the most idyllic views of it, but hey, it's good to be back here though, and it's going to be nice sort of exploring Ottawa properly later on and actually getting to know this town a little bit in the short space of time that I've got. Anyway, gonna have a proper look around this evening, but right now, gotta get to my brewery tour.
Ottawa is a hub for craft beers, and so this afternoon, I'm traveling around with Brew Donkey Tours to sample 3 different breweries.
This is Sherry. Hi, our bus driver.
Shout out Sherry!
Sherry's gonna stay sober all day, thankfully.
We're heading to 3 breweries on the opposite side of the river in Gatineau, which is a city in Quebec that, together with Ottawa, forms the National Capital Region.
Starting with an Oktoberfest lager, 3.8%, and on a hot day like this, where it's like 29 degrees out, I could smash quite a few of these very easily. This next one's a pale ale. Bit of a weird aftertaste, this one. It's just kind of lingers. Not my favorite. This is a double IPA, which is 8.2%. Apparently it's nicer than the last one.
After we'd sampled those 3 beers, it was back onto our school bus and on to the next brewery.
All right, number 2, Chelsea & Co. microbrewery. It's a really lovely place, really good setup. I went for the Mexican lager, Nacho Love. That's good.
Whilst we enjoyed our beer, our guide Jamie gave us a tour around the brewery to explain how the beers are made.
The best part about canning day for people that work at the brewery is that the machines will often do accidents. Yeah, they'll do like overfills or underfills. And so because it has to be a precise measurement that goes into each can, if it's underfilled or overfilled, it gets given to the staff for free. So working at a brewery is a big benefit.
Well, I've resisted sitting in the cable car because I think that's for kids. But I am on a chairlift. Just enjoying my beer outside.
We made our way to the 3rd and final brewery called 5E Baron, and we got to have a couple of samples in the brewery itself before we had some time to just hang out with a beer in the bar.
Another lovely place. They have Mario Kart you can play while you drink your beer. Grown men looking very happy. I feel like I'm at university. That's all we did was drink beer and play Mario Kart.
Yeah, the Brew Donkey Tour was really good fun. It was a really great day, and it was a great way to sort of experience something different within the city rather than just popping around and seeing the main sights. And it was great just hanging out with a group of people for the afternoon rather than just pottering around by myself all day.
Thank you very much. You've been a fantastic group today. I really enjoyed the differences in personalities.
So I'm back in town now. I've just come to Major Hills Park to get a beautiful sunset view of the city. Well, I was going to come here for a quiet sunset beer, but they've got a Oktoberfest thing going on with like shitty German music on, which is not the vibe I want right now. I love Oktoberfest, but not for sunset. Anyway, it's a beautiful evening, so I'm going to spend the evening exploring the town. So this is the Byway Market, which I think would have been a bit more lively during the day. And there's lots of international cuisine here, but I've been instructed by Jamie to get a classic Canadian snack.
Right, so this is a beaver tail. I got the classic, which is just cinnamon and sugar on a pastry. Actually, just the kind of sugar hit I need right now, so it's great. It's a nice, vibrant area of town, this though. Jamie actually went to university in Ottawa, so she's recommended a pub for me to check out, which is this little one over here. Doesn't look that busy, but I'm going to give it a try anyway. It's called the Snug Pub. It's a nice pub, this. It's like Irish pub. It looks like an Irish pub. It's not like a shitty imitation. It looks legit. So, yeah. Cheers, Jamie. Good recommendation. All right, I'm gonna pop back to the hotel to actually check in because I haven't done that yet. And then I'm gonna try and find somewhere, get a quick bite to eat that's not just a beaver tail.
I'm staying at Le Germain Hotel, which is just a few minutes walk from all the major sites downtown, and the room I had was one of the best ones I've stayed in yet.
Oh, this is big. That's so cool. Holy shit. I have a bathtub. Maybe I'll have a bath tonight after I've been go out, get a drink, get some food, and then just relax in there.
There's an area of town, well, a street, Elgin Street, but yeah, I've had quite a few people recommend the area for me. It's like different restaurants, lots of pubs, things like that. So I'm gonna head back out for a little bit and then come back here and I might just have a bath, because if you got a bathtub, you gotta use it. Check that out. All right, this area looks pretty cool. Plenty to eat and drink. Almost feels like a UK high street, this, just with, you know, Canadian shops. So I've come to Sir John A pub, which has 55 different beers on tap. Had this recommended to me by a guy called Michael, so cheers, Mike. And so I'm right now going on the Miller Street Organic Lager, and I've got some Philly beef poutine. This whole area, you see why it was recommended for a night out, because there's tons of bars, great atmosphere, lots of food options. So cheers.
After this, I went back to my hotel to enjoy my bath.
To help you relax during your stay in Ottawa, they've left a bath bomb.
Then, after a very relaxing finish to my day, I woke up in the morning to a beautiful sunrise. It's a beautiful morning here in Ottawa, but right now I've got to head to the station to get my train to Toronto. So I've got 2 nights in Toronto, so I'll have this afternoon there to explore around and catch up with some friends. Then the next day I'm doing a day trip to Niagara Falls, which will be a lovely end to this leg of the trip. It was a longer journey today, as it was going to take 4 hours to travel from Ottawa to Toronto, but the food in business class was once again top notch, and there was lovely views out of the window along the way. Made it to Toronto. This is a cool station. Well, I'll be back here twice more for the train to Niagara and then the train to Winnipeg. Actually staying in an Airbnb for Toronto, so I'm mixing it up a little bit. So I think I'm staying up there. So this is the apartment I got. Bed there. Nice little living room and kitchen, but check out the view. Come on. Oh, getting that vertigo tingly feeling in my legs looking over there. I'm about to go up there to get a slightly higher view than here. Cool, all right, let's get stuff sorted and go and explore. Toronto had been a meeting place for Indigenous peoples for thousands of years before the British established a strategic colonial outpost here in 1793 that they originally called the town of York. It was renamed Toronto in 1834, and the city expanded through waves of immigration and industrialization to become Canada's largest and most diverse metropolis. So yeah, I'm staying in that one there. That's where I'm staying. And the CN Tower's just here. It's not hard to miss. Now, I have been up the CN Tower a couple of times before, but I figure since I'm traveling across Canada, I've got to go up one of the most iconic locations. Right there. The CN Tower was built by the Canadian National Railway and completed in 1976. With a height of 553 meters or 1,815 feet, it was the world's tallest freestanding structure until 2007. $53 with tax.
Plus it takes about 20 minutes to actually walk to the escalator. It's like, oh, come here, take your photo, come look at this. Like, I just want to go up.
The elevators travel at a speed of 22 kilometers an hour or 15 miles per hour and reach the main lookout level in 58 seconds.
It is an incredible view, to be fair. Like, it is a magnificent view of all the city around and the islands here in Lake Ontario. Can get food and snacks up here. There are higher levels you can pay to go up as well. They even have one of those like harness things where you can go outside and lean out, but I've done that before at other towers, so I wasn't fussed about spending my money on it, but it is still such an incredible view. So you can actually see the train tracks down here. So in 2 days' time, we're going to get the train from here all the way that way to Winnipeg. It's a 36-hour train to get home. Oh, there's a hole in the floor, which is way quieter. They got the glass floor thing here.
Next up, I headed to the Hockey Hall of Fame, dedicated to the history of Canada's national winter sport.
So I'm very new to hockey. Like, I went to my first game like 3 years ago, and I enjoy the sport, enjoy watching it, but I'm not so into it like I'm following every game or really know any of the players' names or anything like that. And when the Jets got to the playoffs last summer, it was just like so many games. Like, I quickly went from very excited to like hockey fatigue just over a few games. But yes, just from watching the playoffs, I have a newfound appreciation for just how hard the Stanley Cup is to win. So it was very cool to see it up close just then. Oh, there's way more to this place. Oh, cool. So I just tried shooting my hockey puck for the very first time. Kind of sucked. Maybe I've missed it, but the only thing I've seen in here to do with the Winnipeg Jets is our mascot. Good old Mickey Mouse. So I'm in the back corner of the Hall of Fame, and tucked away is our Winnipeg Jets. Notable Stanley Cup victories? None. Going to be going to a Jets game this weekend anyway, so I'll get to see some hockey in action in the coming days.
I'm now heading over to Kensignton Market, and there are streetcars you can take around town, but to save time, I just hopped in an Uber.
So I'm here in Kensignton Market, which is like the sort of hipster area of town. Lots of like international cuisine, little stores selling vintage clothes and other things, and a few bars. But last time I was here was on a Saturday and it was busy and pumping. Right now it's 5 o'clock on a Monday night, so it's a little, well, I wouldn't say dead, but it's pretty quiet. But I'll have a little wander around anyway, look at some of the stores, maybe get a drink before I go meet my friends Mike and Christy. Alright, so I was going to stop for a drink here, but it's a bit, not really feeling it right now. It's a little bit quiet, but I did manage to get a Christmas present for Milda, my sister-in-law, which is this. Since we just completed the West Highland Way together, I think she'd appreciate that. If you don't know Milda, you might think that's a weird present to get her, but if you do, you know it's the perfect present. So, there you go, Milda.
Next up, I headed to Queen Street to meet up with my good friends Mike and Christy, whom I last saw a few months ago in the Bahamas, where they had some news for us.
You're okay to have this when you're pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just not pregnant.
Then I guess I can't have it.
Are you pregnant? Are you really? I knew it wasn't going to take long, but hey, since you're holding it.
And now,
It's come to fruition.
my junior.
And before you ask, yes, I did ask if it was okay to film baby Mike.
Just having a beer at the bar.
Mikey J.
Yeah. He's on 3 already.
He's upset because he hasn't met any hot chicks yet. Classic.
I had a great evening catching up with them, and then the next morning I was up bright and early for the final day of this leg of the trip.
So today I'm doing a day trip to Niagara Falls, and I'll be getting the train there and back, but kind of looks like my luck's finally run out with the weather, because it's raining here, but across the lake where I'm going, it's looking pretty kind of stormy. But I was going to be getting wet today anyway, sort of going on the boat and going behind the falls, so it should still be okay. I'll see what we can do and stuff. But anyway, I've got to head to the train station now, so let's go. Getting on an Amtrak train. Okay, so it's an Amtrak train, but it's operated by Via Rail to the Canadian border, and then on the other side of the border, it's operated by Amtrak. So that's how it worked.
It was just a 2-hour train journey around Lake Ontario to reach Niagara Falls. Oh, yeah, it's raining. Ugh.
All right, so I've just bought a bus pass for the day. Costs like $11. Hop on, hop off around. So it's like a 10-minute drive to the falls from here, I think. Just hopefully not get too wet today. Apart from the bit where I'm supposed to get wet on the boat. All right, I've made it to the center. It's absolutely pissing down. First thing I need to do is buy a poncho. Then I'm gonna go have a look at the falls. Then I'm gonna try and do this journey behind the falls thing and figure out the boat. And then if the zip line's running in the rain, I'm still gonna do it, but I doubt it will be. There we go. Cost $5. All right, I am looking the part now. I'll be going on that later. It's still amazing to see. It's just going to be a very, very wet day. Look at me though. Welcome to Canada.
I went back inside the centre to do the journey behind the falls, which is something I haven't done on my previous visits here.
So right now we're inside the waterfall. It's a bit crowded and chaotic. There's a small room down there, so I'm gonna head down. Okay, this is cool. Check this out. I've never done that before, and that was really, really cool. Just getting that close to it and experiencing the power of it was awesome. Alright, I'm gonna drench, I'm gonna move. Come up to the end when you get right behind it. Standing behind Niagara Falls. Yeah, the bit where you actually go behind it wasn't as impressive because it's just like this white sheet of water, and but the bit just right by the side of it, that was really cool. But yeah, I'm gonna have some food, dry off for a bit, and then work my way down and try and get on the cruise, the boat cruise, to go right up next to it and get drenched some more. And then, if the zip line's open, I'll do it, but I doubt it will be. That was really good fun. Really good fun. It's all a bit chaotic and crazy with the weather, but it just adds to the fun. Anyway, let's try out this massive burger. Didn't really get breakfast this morning, so some healthy food here. Oh, shit, that is good. I did not expect the cafeteria food in Niagara Falls to be any good, but that's a really good burger.
I started walking my way down to where the cruise boats go from, and I noticed that the zip line was not only open, but there was no queue as well, and so I got myself straight on it.
You excited for the ride? Yeah, man. Good. All right, let's go.
Let's
go. Everybody in Niagara Falls. Sweet. All right, that was really good fun actually. I didn't realize they were going to film it from all these different angles. So, like right at the end, I was kind of bracing for the brake, because sometimes at the end of a zip line, you hit the brake, it's like, blah! But actually, it was pretty soft and pretty gentle. But it turns out they've got a slow-mo video of me going bracing like, ugh! And then it's like, oh, that was really cool. Free ride up, sweet.
Once I got back up to the top, I walked straight over to get a boat ticket to go on the cruise.
The nice thing that it's been a bad weather day during the middle of the week, end of shoulder season, is this queues haven't been that bad at all for anything, or non-existent. Like I just strolled up, got a ticket for the boat straight away there. Oh, got to stop for your obligatory green screen photo. Definitely gonna get that. Gonna head to the front of the boat because that's where you get the most wet, best views. There's already a healthy spray and nowhere near the falls yet.
It's the American Falls right here. Amazing seeing it come on all the rocks. Very different to the horseshoe. Struggling to keep my eyes open, especially with my contacts in. Should have brought some goggles. Oh, this is incredible, look at this!
Like, I thought the boat tour would be nice, you know, get up close, get a bit of spray, see it from a different angle, but that was phenomenal. That was like one of the highlights of the trip so far. I didn't realize just how close we would get. We were like right in amongst it. When you look at it from above, it looks like you're quite far from the sort of, you know, here's the boat, here's the horseshoe, you're quite far away, but it felt like we were right in there. And the waterfall was all around, and you just got so wet, just soaking. I had the poncho all over me, and I was sort of standing at the front of the boat, so I thought the barrier would stop any water getting onto like the bottom of my legs that wasn't covered, but the poncho got so wet that the water just ran down it, and now my jeans are just completely soaked through. I might just buy some trousers from one of the gift shops here or something if they don't dry out soon.
That was incredible. That was actually brilliant.
It's just turned into a really fun day, really fun day.
I want to show you the other side to Niagara Falls, because if you're staying in town at one of the hotels or a hostel, there's a chance you'll have to walk down this street right here. Nature's done its best, and then mankind's built this tacky little place full of like wax museums and crazy golf. Anyway, I'm gonna find somewhere to get a beer and dry off.
So I've come into Niagara Brewing Company for a drink. It's a good lager, that. They got the AC on in here, so I don't know how much I'm going to dry off. The waiter kindly said, you want some towel to wipe yourself down, but I was kind of like, can I just build a fire and sit next to that? Is that all right?
After attempting to dry off, I made my way back to Toronto and spent the evening catching up with my buddy Jason as we watched the Blue Jays working their way towards the World Series. And then in the morning, it was time to board Via Rail's Canadian line, which goes all the way from Toronto to Vancouver. So in this next leg of the trip, I'm going to be spending some time in Canada's most underrated region, the Prairies, spending a few days in both Winnipeg and Saskatoon.
So I've now officially made it to the centre of Canada. This site has been used as a gathering place for the different First Nations for over 6,000 years. To come here for the day and just sort of switch off is just perfect.
I want to see teeth on the ice.
This is amazing. This is so cool.